Hey, welcome to the Summit Host Hangout podcast, where you'll learn how to host a high-converting virtual summit that leads to your biggest signature offer launch yet. I'm your host, Krista from Summit in a Box, and today I thought I would build on last week's episode a little bit. Really, in one sense, it kind of seems like I should have done these episodes the other way around, but I also think it works this way, and the mindset shift from last week was a good one to have before this, so we're going to go with it. But today, I wanted to talk about the two areas of your summit that you need to have in place in order to see record-breaking revenue, okay? And no, it is not the All Access Pass package, the pricing, the sales strategy. It's not anything to do with your offer or the way you launch it. It's not the surface level answers of getting thousands of leads into the event, okay? Those things are important, but what we're going to talk about today is even more foundational than that. And you can't have, the other stuff does not matter. The All Access Pass package pricing strategy doesn't matter without these things. Okay. With this episode and the last one, I'm trying to shift the way you think about your summit a little. Okay. We get so focused on the numbers, but the numbers don't matter and don't happen when that's all you're focusing on or thinking about. Okay. So let's just dive into the first one here. The first place I tend to see people freak out about when it comes to not reaching their goal revenue numbers is when they're not seeing the registrations they want come into their summit. And I see something along the lines of, oh my gosh, no one is registering. My speakers aren't promoting. What do I do? And I've been seeing this less and less in our programs over the past year or so, because I added in a lesson with literally a big stop sign in the lesson name that gives people an extra checkpoint to make sure they got this piece right before they continue. But really, the number of registrations you get is going to depend on you having your dream speakers in your lineup. Okay. Now, this also assumes you've done other things correctly. Your summit is positioned well. The registration page is great. Your promo copy is effective. These are all things we can help you with in our Summit in a Box and Launch with the Summit Accelerator programs. But I'm assuming those pieces are there. But if you didn't bring on the right speakers, all of the work you put into the more obvious pieces won't matter. Okay. So what goes into landing your dream speakers? A few things. First, you need to make it an easy yes for them. A summit should be a very easy thing for someone to say yes to. The way you position your summit and present it to them should be like a no-brainer. Yes, I want to be involved in that and get in front of that audience. And what is required from them when compared to the benefits should be an easy yes. They should be able to say, oh yes, I will benefit more than I have to give for this. So make sure it's an easy yes. The next thing that goes into getting your dream speakers is just making the perfect pitches. And that comes down to who you're pitching and how you're pitching them. So you're pitching the perfect people, the people who have the right audience for the summit, and you're also making really solid pitches. Okay, so that's what's included in your pitch, how's it formatted, how are you presenting it to them? Those things matter a lot. And then the third piece of landing your dream speakers and benefiting because of it is giving them a red carpet experience. Okay. And that's not just like laying out the step-by-step process, giving them the promo copy, making it, smooth for them. But it also includes them feeling a relationship with you and feeling valued by you. Someone is not going to go all in on promotion if they feel like you just care about them for their email list, right? Unless they are pretty new and really are like, oh my gosh, I'm in a summit, which is fine. That's great. It's good to have those kinds of people. But a relationship with you and feeling valued is what's going to make people promote. Okay, so that's what goes into your dream speakers. And the speakers are where the leads come from. You can, of course, run ads and do other more involved things if you really want to, but I want your speakers to be the foundation. It is one of the core strengths of a summit where you're not having to pay a ton of money to get leads to your launch event. It's all built right in. Okay, so your speakers are where the leads come from, which is great. But like we talked about in the last episode, those leads aren't going to do you an ounce of good if the gold standard experience is not there for them. And I've signed up for some terrible summits, and I've been a speaker in some terrible summits. Summits that weren't engaging, summits that were a constant pitch, summits that were really of no value or had no real point to them. And that should not be yours. Okay? Plan your experience with your attendees in mind every step of the way. What transformation do you want them to get? How can you do that for them? How can you create that transformation for them? How can you make it fun and interesting and engaging? When thousands of people your speakers are sending get excited, get engaged, and get a transformation, that is where the revenue comes in. Okay? When you deliver what you promised or show them that you will, that's when they're willing to buy your All Access Pass and join your signature offer. You need the speakers and you need the experience. So overall, when your speakers are set up to benefit, and your attendees are set up to benefit, that is when you get to benefit. Okay, so for a step-by-step of how to create a summit that fits in this cycle and gets you that record-breaking revenue, just DM me the word summit on Instagram. You can email me instead if you don't have Instagram, but we'll talk about how I can support you and how we can get you there, because I truly want the summit experience for everyone, for you, but also for your attendees and speakers. Okay, I want it for them too. So thank you so much for tuning into this episode. For show notes and resources mentioned, head to the link in the episode description. Now go out and take action to plan, strategize, and launch your high converting virtual summit.